Everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Bod Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 257 on October 20th, 2021. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by a very festive Matthew Ross.
Oh, hello there.
I guess normally festive Michael Aston and Jimmy Tremmel.
Hey.
What's your problem, guys?
I don't know. I was trying to be normally festive. I don't know what that means.
I can't wear orange. I can't wear orange anymore because then I just look like a jack-o'-lantern year round. And I prefer to know, like, when people are laughing at me, I prefer to not know why.
I work at a school district and the mascot are the Tigers. So guess what? Orange is a thing we do every once in a while. And it's been a while since we've done one on a Wednesday. So yeah, it's a nice shirt. It's very, very bright. I like it. So
cool.
Other than that, yeah, festive. Absolutely. It's totally boggle season. So yeah, totally. Let's
it boggles the mind.
It boggles the mind.
How's everybody doing?
Well, I don't, it's a Wednesday. I don't know. It's going to go.
Yeah. Yep, it's a day.
Actually, truthfully, today was a pretty rough day. Yeah. It sucks when you are trying to work on something and you find out that you might have screwed up and it might have cost the district thousands of dollars. I think I'm okay. I think I figured out how to fix it.
Don't admit it here on the internet where it never goes away.
Well, no, I don't think it's actually that big of. I think it's a thing that is fixable. It's not my fault. I think it's the vendor's fault because if they didn't file something correctly, then I have to help them through it. But it does feel bad when it's like, ooh, if this doesn't work, that's expensive. So
why don't you just spin that the other way and say, hey, look at all the money I saved us. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think like that. I know people who do, and I hate them. They're evil people, if you ask me. So
don't worry. There's plenty of tax money.
No, I don't feel that way at all. The last thing I want to do is spend any more money than I need to on a thing. And there's lots of people who would like, hey, well, you have a budget for this. I don't know what my budget's going to be like by the end of the year, so I don't want to spend it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, I'm not necessarily in the majority in that opinion, but
I work for a nonprofit and I get to spend tax money too. I'm really good at it. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually miserably bad at it. That's why we keep underspending our grants every year.
Oh, really? That's good.
I'm not good at spending money, especially tax money. I'm like, how much of that is mine?
Right. Good point. No, that's absolutely true. But that made my day, that and the fact that I left my wallet and my keys at home today, and it was crazy rainy. Everything just went wrong for me today. I just gotta say, it is not a smooth day.
How'd you get to work with no keys?
I have two sets of keys. One set of keys is my personal keys. That's my car and my house. And then the other giant wad of keys, which is all the school keys.
Okay.
I left my school keys at home.
I was afraid it was something like last summer when I drove down to the gas station to realize I didn't have my car keys. The car started because my car keys were in my other vehicle sitting close enough to my vehicle that it started. And then I got to the gas station and I realized when I couldn't lock my car and I had to walk all the way home to get my keys and then walk all the way back so that I could start my car. And this was all leading up to movie party. And I'm like,
you could have called an Uber to go get your keys.
No, not out where I live. There are no.
Okay.
It would have taken longer for the Uber to get to me than to walk home and back to the gas station.
So your horse wasn't pregnant, huh?
No. Yeah. But I will say, on the bright side, guys, today is a great day. You know why?
Why?
Because it's not snowing.
Oh, it's not, is it?
Today, last year, it snowed.
Okay.
You guys
keep
might
track of
remember
that?
those pictures. Well, I don't. Google sends me, hey, remember today 1 year ago? And it was a picture of my driveway covered in snow.
And you said, thanks, Google. Actually, thanks.
Yeah, actually, for the first time in a long time, I was like, thank you.
better.
And no, Google, go away. I don't want anything from you. Okay.
It's not snowing here either, Clyde.
Yeah,
That's good.
Just in case you were wondering.
and it cooled off enough here to where the air conditioner is not running at the moment.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It rained a lot today. But, it's par for the course.
I was going to say.
It's fine.
So we're all saying things that are typical and expected, except Clyde.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's true.
All right. Well, why don't we get on with it before we find something that is a downer? We're going to eventually stumble into something. So let's just ride this high and keep on going.
Okay. Well, how about this? You know how last week and maybe even the week before, I was ranting and raving about the fact that, it's difficult to watch my baseball game because local things.
Yeah.
It's I figured, maybe, me screaming into the ether, which is, the internet of this show.
That's what this show is designed for, specifically.
That maybe, someday, maybe like a couple decades, they'll figure out that maybe they could do something about that. Well, Major League Baseball is actually considering changing how they do blackouts. And what they're considering doing is making their home certain games available through an app that you can get either through the web or maybe even actual apps, or maybe through their MLB baseball streaming service they already have, in order for you to get access to the games, essentially abandoning the current existing solution, which requires the cable TVs to have access to the games during the local blackouts. This is basically the exact thing that I wanted. This is them saying, hey, if you want to watch the game and you're not at you can go ahead and pay us a fee and we'll go ahead and, take your money, let you watch the game. Something that seems, commonplace. I don't understand why it's such a difficult idea. But because the number of viewers of cable subscribers have actually been dropping a lot, they're looking at this with a more serious eye. They have not decided to do anything yet, but it is something that they are considering for as early as the 2023 season. So it's possibly the end of blackouts for Major League Baseball, which...
Well, the blackouts would still be there. It's just a way around the blackouts, right? Because if they got rid of the blackouts, they wouldn't need this service.
But the question I have is, and this to me determines whether you can effectively consider the blackouts gone, is will they charge a premium for that feature?
Yes.
And if so, how much? Because if it ends up costing you comparable to cable, which I could see, if you look at like what they charge for special sporting events on pay-per-view type stuff, it's a lot. So I could see them saying, hey, this is going to be $25 a month to get past your blackout, which would be pretty egregious to me.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing. The speculation from people on the inside is that this subscription rates would vary by geographic market and could be between $10 and $20 a month.
Right.
$10 a month. Aren't you already in the MLB TV ballpark?
Possibly.
Pun intended.
It's like $100. No, isn't that $150 a season?
A year
for a full year thing?
So if you get 10 months,
$100.
it's $100. or it could be 20 if like you're in New York or someplace. Yeah, it really depends.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't need 10 months though. Like
no, not necessarily, but
the baseball season's only like what, 4?
But still, if you're, well, it's more than 4. It starts in spring and goes till
It starts
October.
April 1st.
Yeah,
and
April
goes
through
until
October. So it's easily 6 months.
Yeah.
So, but then if you're paying $20 a month, that's $120 right there for 6 months. It really depends on what the pricing is. They just need to bump up the price by a couple bucks on the existing MLB TV, and then just show the stupid games.
Yeah. And to me, if they charged that as like a $5 a month premium to standard, I would be like, yeah, that's effectively removes the blackout in my view. Not technically, but effectively.
Yeah.
$20 a month, I think, is maybe a little high. 10, I think I would be totally fine with 10. Even 20, if I still was a big Braves fan, I would be sure. I'd do that. Anything more than that, and it starts to get into
but
I mean,
also,
it's way more than you would pay for any other single service.
Yeah.
So,
but also this is for home games, so this is watching in market. So,
right.
I would not, if I was looking to watch a Braves game and I was out of the market, it would not be blacked out typically because I'm not in the market. I don't know. All I know is for the last 20, almost 30 years, MLB's been complaining about the steadily declining rates of viewership. Well, that was by their own doing. They made it so people couldn't watch. And then you complain that people aren't watching like they used to. Yeah, because everybody used to just turn on the TV and watch the game. Now you can't.
All I gotta say is, please lower the barrier of entry. Yeah. I don't care what you do to make it, but it should not be nobody should have to jump through hoops to watch their team. Quite frankly,
yeah.
Just get rid of those problems. Make it easy. Yep, there's a pay to pay. You have to pay to watch. Fine, I don't have to go to the stadium and pay for a ticket and for all that. I can just stay in my home and watch it myself.
That's the thing. If I have to pay to watch it, I'm not gonna watch. I don't care enough. So then it's like, hey, but if there was no, if it was just over the air like it used to be, then I'd probably have the game on.
If you look at their viewership changes, right? Like they're saying viewership is down 12% compared to the 2019 season. That's honestly not that bad.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the viewership down from the early 90s when they started doing the blackouts.
Right. But what I'm saying is that the cable companies are losing customers at rates higher than that. Right. So it's sticky enough that it's keeping people on their cable services to keep from losing their channel. But the real kicker for them is they've got to come up with a source of revenue, because the regular season games are down by 34%, which again doesn't really seem like all that much considering what's going on in COVID. I mean, 34%'s low compared to 2 years ago, but really, I mean, half of the country thinks that they're going to die if they get within 10 feet of another person outdoors. So I'm making stuff up,
Yeah, I know.
But
the number's much higher than what you're saying.
There's a lot of people that are extremely paranoid right now, and so those people are not going to be going to sporting events where they might have to sit close to people they don't know.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. And I suspect that number of people is probably greater than that 34% number.
Possibly.
So, speaking of cable companies.
So, Comcast, they've,
Cool.
Cable company. Oh yeah, we're Comcast. We think really big about Comcast. We don't really think that. Anyways, Comcast is launching a new television. That's right. They not providing television service. They're actually providing you with an actual television box. This is the X-Class TV. It is a streaming television. It's got the streaming box built in. It looks like it's got a their own kind of interface. I'm guessing it's very much based on their Xfinity line of boxes, which I think is Android based, and it is able to provide you with it comes with out of the box with Peacock for 12 months, and with Peacock Premium with ads. That's right, they still want those ads. And it has
Peacock Premium with ads. That's because they consider the ads to be the premium.
It also has access to a lot of the other different services from YouTube TV, Netflix, HBO Max, Hulu, Amazon Video, YouTube Plus, Sling TV. All those other guys are still have access to this box. It starts at a paltry $300. It's made by Hisense. This is basically them providing you with a box that's going to be able to give you all your streaming service and focuses you on the Xfinity experience. Now, I have a question. Who here thinks this is totally spying on you?
Oh, of course.
I do. I think this one, more than other ones, is totally going to be spying on you.
So, I think I was going to say, as a service, I think this one makes more sense than last week. Like on Cord Killers, they talked about Comcast doing a similar thing in England, which was the Sky Glass streaming TV. This is essentially, they teamed up with Comcast already has their Android-powered box that they were trying to shill. And Hisense already makes a TV with Android TV built in. So all they did was they just put the Comcast version of Android TV on this TV to sell to people.
So I'm a little confused about this. So there's no Xfinity subscription.
No,
right?
They can't sell that.
So I'm a little confused. So
actually, no, sorry, I take that back. It does say that in the next few months, Comcast will launch pay TV streaming services from Xfinity and Charter.
Cool. Oh, okay.
So, yes, theoretically, there will be Xfinity. That would be an additional cost, I'm guessing.
Is it one of those kind of, you're on Charter, so you're getting Charter streaming service, you're on Comcast, so you're getting the Comcast streaming service kind of thing?
I don't know. I think they finally figured out how to have a Charter and a Comcast streaming service.
On the same wire?
That's not beholden to region. Because like we talked about a couple weeks ago where, even though Comcast has the Xfinity stream or whatever they're calling that service, it's internet, they're not allowed to sell it in markets that are not Comcast markets.
Clyde, that's impossible.
I know, right? But
here's the thing. It's a little bit odd. Wouldn't Xfinity at least want to sell them internet service?
Well, you can't sell. You can sell this TV to people anywhere in the country, to people that can't buy their internet service.
Okay.
So yes, if you can get their internet service, they want to sell that to you. But if you can't, you can still have a TV and still possibly buy their streaming service. So.
Plus, you also got to remember that Comcast is Peacock.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they finally found a way to sell people the Peacock service directly.
Dirt cheap TVs with it built in.
Yep. I am a fan of Hisense stuff.
The screens are good with Hisense, no doubt.
Yeah. Hisense was my favorite until TCL came along and stole their crown. but they're still up there as like my number 2. Oh, that doesn't sound good. They're still up there as my second in line in Mindshare. I don't know. I like I said, I do think this is a much better deal than the one that they're doing in England, where they're like, "Hey, for £1,500, we'll sell you this TV that you could get from TCL for less than $500." Yeah, I think this price is much more realistic. But over there, that is literally what you were talking about, Jimmy, with the Sky cable service built in. You sign up for the cable service and you get a TV.
Right.
And then they also save money on cable boxes.
Right. Yeah.
But
to me, that would have been a more practical play for them.
Yeah, but
I get what
Yeah.
what he's saying. Yeah, you want to give it to everybody, even the ones that can't get their service.
Yeah.
Right?
See, you're more likely to you're more likely to sell more TVs and Peacock subscriptions if everybody can get it, not just people in your service area. So, yeah.
Yeah, when you put it that way, yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense for them. I don't
Yes,
know.
it does.
I don't know that I think it makes sense for many people.
Oh, and we missed. It says they are available from Walmart. So they're already available? I missed that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'd probably still go with the Hisense Roku or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay.
Many
Have to
options.
check it out.
You will have to soon. You will not have any option but the one of the options that you're presented in front of you, and you will not be able to go with the option that you wish to go with.
Yeah.
Well, I
So bad.
you know, on the plus side, I heard Apple redesign their HomePods.
So Apple actually had a big event, and the music was one of their things in their event. And
So
you know,
I assume that they put in new processors and added spatial audio and
totally.
all that sleep scanning and all that cool
yeah.
stuff that we've been hearing from Fire
all
from the
that's-
Echoes and
All that stuff went into the Apple AirPods. That's right. The
no. I'm talking about the HomePod.
Oh no. What did they didn't do anything to the HomePod. I mean, sure, they announced new colors, but nothing else.
Seriously.
Sorry, Siri.
Well,
Siri.
Don't say that too loud.
I mean, the fact that, yeah,
Hey,
it's colors for the holidays.
colors.
That's all it is.
You know what? It's Apple people want to have colors for their. I don't know why, but there are people who absolutely want their colors. And now instead of coming in only in black and white, you can get a kind of a seafoam blue, but kind of more blue than seafoam. I don't know. A bright yellow, which actually my favorite color. Love that yellow color. And then of course a bright orange. It's not quite orange.
They look 3D printed. They
always
look like
happen.
something I know, but it's even more 3D printed now that it's in color.
I like the orange and the blue.
Yeah,
I'm
the yellow.
on
I'm with Matt. I think the yellow looks quite nice.
I think that if you are a HomePod user and you're needing a couple of HomePods additional for different rooms or whatever,
Mhm.
I think this is great. You know, they
Options are great.
might look a little better with your current decor. So
But
yeah, go for it.
They're $100 a piece, and they've done absolutely nothing but change the color. Spend
That's true.
$50 and
$100
get
a
an
piece
Echo
before.
Dot.
It's not like they made them more expensive when they added the different colors. So
Thankfully.
Didn't they?
it's, you know, I mean, so you're just, if you're an Apple person and you're doing smart speakers around your house,
$50 is nothing.
good
Fine.
good option. If on the other hand you're you're in the Amazon ecosystem, that you're not even going to really think twice about this.
Yeah, the flip coin of this is that sure, Apple totally has one intelligent speaker. That's because they got rid of the old one. So you can only choose one model, but now you have a couple color options versus Amazon, which has dozens of various Echo devices you can choose from.
I'd say for $50, I can get the Google Home with better colors, in my opinion. The coral pink.
But what if you're an Apple Music subscriber?
Those people don't exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, this is the way to go.
I think you can do Apple Music.
I'm pretty sure Google. Apple Music works on my HomePod.
Yeah, I think it works there.
It's not like you are using the Amazon Echo because it has super high fidelity sound either, right? So it's not like any of the competition is producing outlandishly better sound than they are. So they don't really need to upgrade those features to compete, but they were lagging significantly on that aesthetic side. You know, they kind of had a nice roundish shape, but they didn't have a lot of color options. Now they do. And now they can kind of compete on those elements. So it's really just bringing themselves up to parity, which is Apple's typical thing. You know, wait until everybody else does it and then come out and do it.
And then exclaim that you
slightly
were first.
More classy.
And slightly more expensive.
And more expensive.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's fine. It's a great model. It's been working great for them. They shouldn't be worrying about it. It's doing good. They're not a problem. Hey, you know what doesn't do the expensive thing? It's this company called Wise. They came out with the various cameras and they made them really dirt cheap. I mean, like super cheap. Oh, you have a Wise watch?
I've got this Wise watch that I've been wearing for like a year.
Yeah, and what do you think?
It does.
How much it cost you?
It was like less than $40.
Not bad.
Yeah, I bought it because I think it was like $25, and I was like, I'll try it for $25.
A year later, you're like, yeah, it's been good. All right. They have just announced a new version of their Doorbell Cam. And this Doorbell Cam is unique because it has the ability to have a battery put in it. And the battery is supposed to make it run for a long time without being recharged. I mean, how long is it supposed to last?
6 months. And I believe the battery's built in. So you just basically take it off the wall like every 6 months into the house and plug it in and let it charge.
Or you walk out with your external battery charger, plug it in and leave it there for a while. All right. That's pretty cool.
See, yeah. I mean, it's $65. It's like,
yep.
That's
so this thing is $65. It comes with the chime inside the house, so you can hear it. Of course, it has the ability to connect to various smart devices, so you can talk to it, especially the smartphone. Excuse me. It has I don't even know what the resolution of this thing is, but it does connect to Wi-Fi.
1440p.
Yeah.
1440p. That's not bad. And it also can be connected to your existing 16 to 24 volt wiring in order to use that as its power. So if you already have a doorbell that you have hooked up there, you can use that instead of having to recharge it as well.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing that really got me right off the bat was the 150 by 150 degree of field of view.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of those are like a 16 by 9 and you get what's in front of you, but you can't see what's slightly below the camera. This isn't as wide, but it gives you a nice realist, like more kind of a little more of a fisheye.
Right.
But that's cool. Also the fact that the interior chime, you just plug it into the wall. So my house doesn't have a doorbell. Somebody put on one of those wireless doorbell things, which lasts for a couple months because it requires freaking batteries. And the worst part is I don't even know how long they last because the one or two times someone uses my doorbell, I don't hear it. And I find out, apparently those batteries were dead a long time ago. I just hope the thing I've also been looking for is because a lot of these systems don't. I have basically two front doors. They're on either side of the house, and I want a way to be able to use a single chime with two. And I'm hoping this will do that.
And two different chime noises depending on the door.
That would be helpful, but I don't think absolutely necessary. I just need to know when there's something, because FedEx refuses to accept the fact that I clearly don't use my front door because it's pointing to, it's on a street in an area you can't get to. And I will find stuff months later under the snow at that door, and you'll see where they had to walk through the snow in my yard to get to that door rather than just coming up the clearly plowed driveway to the door that makes sense. But yeah,
you just need a big sign to say, this is also a front door right here.
Yeah. But no, I wasn't interested in these doorbell cameras until I saw this one, partly because they were way too expensive.
Yep. Also, the monthly fee for this one is very reasonable if you want to use their cloud
if you want to use their cloud service, you can.
I'm curious if you could do a local NVR.
Yeah,
Curious.
I'll
probably be checking that out, because I also would like to do a doorbell cam for my house, but my doorbell, unfortunately, my door is right here, and my doorbell is on the wall 90 degrees to that, that
makes a lot of sense.
That sucks, because then I will get a great picture of my neighbor's wall.
They make little
little wedges, the wedges that turn it a little bit.
Turns it a little bit, because mine's the same way.
Yeah, if you go to the Wise website, it comes with like 4 different mounting brackets. So nice. I think they've got that built in.
Well, this one I would be able to just move it next to the door and just deal with the battery life. That's fine. All right. Reddit is providing a new live streaming show. Yes, that's right. Reddit is doing some streaming shows. That's something I didn't know they were doing. Anyways, they're doing a series of shows that's going to be streamed called PS Battles Live. That's right. They're going to team up with Adobe, and they're going to be making a competition using Adobe Photoshop. I wonder if people have to own a copy of Photoshop or pay for the subscription in order to.
They're on Reddit. They don't pay for Photoshop.
Exactly. That's why I wonder. But anyways, this is going to be a service which, going to be people coming in to do some battles of probably like draw a picture using these images or make something with this concept behind it or whatever, in order to have a nice streaming service to showing you what you can do with that. So I don't know. This could be interesting. Could be fun. I wonder how you would watch it.
Where do you watch this?
It's reddit.com/r/PS Battles Live. It's a subreddit. It's going to be Reddit every day this week. So
they're live streaming directly on
Reddit. That's the thing. I know. That's the weird thing, is that they're putting the stream right on the site, which is fine. It's just unique.
Yeah.
And
I think
we might see a lot more of this.
I think it'll be interesting. There's some people that I enjoy watching how they do Photoshop stuff, and so I could imagine it could be pretty interesting if they've got some good people on there. I am interested on how that works, if live is implying that they do it live for reals, but it's not live footage of it, because that would be weird how they would I don't know how they would manage it, right?
Well, we could do it if I had any Photoshop skills whatsoever, I could challenge you guys to a Photoshop battle right now.
Sure.
We share our screens, and then
totally.
That's
I'll totally beat you, and I'll use the GIMP.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, are they collecting specific people that they?
I would assume
sounds
they've
like
got
it's
challengers every week.
See, I don't know. To me, I mean, if they had somebody like Bob Ross, right? Doing this show. That's what would make this show a success.
Okay, go
otherwise, otherwise, if they're going to do battles, right? Just bring back, celebrity deathmatch.
Somebody go get Elon Musk to figure out a way to reanimate Bob Ross and Pablo Picasso. I want to see them I want their reanimated corpses to do a Photoshop battle off, or whatever they're calling Photoshop battle.
All I gotta say is, what other subreddits could you imagine that are going to get live streams, and which ones would be good and which ones would be bad?
Episode 2 would be Salvador Dali, and his mustache has been growing this entire time. Think about that.
Either Bob Ross or a celebrity deathmatch. That'll get you some viewers.
Now, I was thinking a subreddit like No Stupid Questions. That could be an interesting live stream. I don't know.
And then
there's one.
Yeah, no stupid questions. Let's see how stupid you can make the question.
Exactly, but then you'd have to get real answers that
Right.
taking it seriously, because that's the rule.
Oh, we used to do that all the time. How long is a 10-foot pole?
5 feet.
How many bullets does a 6-shooter hold?
10.
All right, let's move on. We got here, Apple did have one other announcement that was relative to us here for the week. Apple announced that they are providing a new streaming service for music. That's right, the Apple Music, the program that all of you love. I know you do. You can get at a discount if you want to, if you only use your voice to access it. That's right. For $5 a month, you can get access to the entire catalog of Apple's music system, as long as you're going to touch anything to access it. You have to use your voice.
Apple's paying us not to touch them.
No, you still have to pay, just not as much.
Oh.
No, it's good deal. I mean, they cut the price in half, and all you got to do is just use the voice assistant instead.
How desperate are they to get people to use their voice assistant?
Hey,
yes,
this is almost as desperate as my company paying the employees to get vaccinated. Yes, that's actually.
I use it all the time anyway, and I pay for the family plan. So,
yeah. That's the way I see it. Is they're paying people that use Apple Music to use Siri, because even their most loyal customers don't want to use Siri.
They're going to someday acquire a company and make Siri a lot better. When that happens,
that company is called Google.
Well, yeah, well,
or Amazon.
Yeah, that might not happen. I don't know. Those two are big enough. I don't think that'll happen, but it's okay. I think the idea of somebody who's not in, there are plenty of people in the world that don't like using cell phones and tablets and computers, but they are willing to, because a family member brought over a little speaker for them so they can listen to their music. Have access to that, and giving an inexpensive option for them because they don't need to have access to anything else. They're likely not going to listen to as much music, kind of thing.
You know what the alternative is?
Spotify.
Yeah,
for free.
That's what my dad does. I got my parents one of the Google Homes a long time ago, and then my dad found out you could listen to music on it, and that's all he does is he just yells at it to play him music, and then he'll sit through a few commercials. Who cares? It's free.
Well, the latest one thing I'll say about that, on all the Apple devices that I own, if you use the voice assistant and say play music, it'll say, what service would you like to hear that on?
Yeah.
Right. So you could actually, if you want to listen to your Amazon Music on your Apple device.
Yeah, that's the way it's been from day one with the Google Home. The difference is in the app, I set the default, and then if I want to listen to something else, what's that?
Hey, Google Home, play something on Apple Music.
Headphones. Didn't hear it. Sorry,
but
yeah, I know.
All right. I think that this idea of a $5 voice only plan is fine. And I suspect it will totally have a couple dozen subscribers.
Yeah, they'll make hundreds of dollars.
They'll make hundreds of dollars. So it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Here's an interesting one. Apparently, the FCC thinks that wireless carriers should block spam texts. Yeah, sure, they should block them. They're not going to be able to stop. As we know, making something that shouldn't happen illegal has always solved that problem, hasn't it?
Well, here's the thing. This is so blatantly a ploy to get your hands on all of the information that exists in those texts, because the FCC is basically requiring, by doing this, they're basically requiring the carriers to read every single text message, but it's for your safety. And once they've read every single text message, what do you think they're supposed to do with it? Oh, probably give it back to the government.
Well, I mean, yeah, the NSA already clipped.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This is one thing where they don't necessarily have, but they found their
I need to get my tinfoil hat back.
No, I mean, but the thing is, this is text goes across digital
clear channels.
But well, I mean, it is possible to read it, but
I mean,
whether or not someone's sitting there actually reading it is.
I mean, it's always been there, right? It's always been there.
Mm-hmm. But this becomes a mandate.
I think probably I would argue it already was, right? But I mean, who does the carriers pay for the frequencies?
Yes.
Well, but the thing is, if they were already reading it, then in the case of that San Bernardino shooting, they wouldn't have had to go to Apple to force them to unlock the phone so they could read the text messages, because the carrier would have already read them and would have already been able to report on that. But that's my point, is before they weren't looking at that. But then you've got the FCC saying, hey, you must read every single text message, but it's so that you can block the spam.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like this is, I am kind of on the same page as you. But at the same time, I'm also of the opinion that it's an impossible task.
I mean, right? How about they block the spam calls I get all day? Something they said they were going to do back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So unlike a text, which is something that is in the clear and can be read, just like an email can be read in the clear and can be checked for being spam or not, and also has a lot of header information about where it's coming from, where it's going to. Calls are spoofable, and you can't tell what the call is going to contain until after the call's been started. So there's no way to stop that. Versus a text message, which is totally just like an email in many ways, and you can see what the contents are, and you can see how many of the exact same message were sent around. So it's very much more like a spam filtering, traditionally like an email spam filtering. So I can understand it. But at the same time, yeah, they're going to look at it because they already have been. And that's because it's a clear text platform. It's never been intended as a secure platform. Period.
I mean, there's a couple things. So one thing I got to say is, like, okay, yes, it is sad when people lose lots of money to spammers. But come on, at this point, people should know better. Second of all, this will drive savvy people away from the texting platforms and towards or away from SMS through their providers and towards text messaging in a Signal, something like Signal, where you try to keep out prying eyes.
Oh
yeah. Okay. You want me to tell you something to make Matt dive up underneath his tinfoil hat here?
Yes, please. You may, sir. Feel free.
All right. So have you all gotten the spam call about somebody wanting to sell you a car warranty?
Of course.
Right. You know where those spammers get your phone number from?
The dealership.
Dealerships.
No.
The DMV.
The DMV.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Right. So the government is selling your information to the spammers.
Oh, we already know that.
So if you want to cut it off, right, cut it off there. But the thing is, here's what the DMV and the government will say. So, well, yeah, you're right. We're selling your information and we're getting money off of that so that we can keep your taxes low.
Yeah, while you're raising the taxes.
I always assumed that they were just accidentally losing my data. That they weren't even getting money for it. They're just like, oh crap, we left that database.
No, which one is preferable?
With a default password and
no, they're blatantly selling it is what they're doing.
Yeah, the way they're selling it is historically has been through lost laptops. So and so employee left their laptop at a park bench, whereas another guy sat down and walked away with it. Yeah, I don't like this. If all I gotta say is if you want them to record it, just be honest and say, hey, we're gonna start telling they have to record it for us, rather than saying, but we're doing it for your safety. That never goes over.
Yeah, they always trim it down.
I know they do. I'm just saying, stop trying to play that card.
Yeah, I agree.
It's never for your own good. Anytime anybody tells you something is for your own good, it's not for your own good. Or they're trying to help you. No, they're not.
Also, when anybody tells you that they're going to do something that you physically can't be done, I have to ask what kind of what are they thinking when they're talking about this? For example, Amazon's Music is saying now that they are going to have a new version of their spatial audio system, the ability to have the sounds go around you and that sort of thing. And if I understand the phrase spatial audio correctly, you'd be able to turn your head and the audio still be able to follow where, would be basically in the same direction. So giving you that 3D effect in a room kind of thing. They're saying they're going to be able to do that, make it work with any headphones. Now, I totally get that they're going to be able to make it so it sounds like you're in a 3D environment with two plain old-fashioned earbuds in your head. That makes sense. I mean, that's possible to do. I'm a big fan of Aerial from a long time ago when that was a thing on video games. Aerial 3D was one of my favorite things back in the day because that's what they did, is they figured out how to make awesome 3D sounds with only two speakers. This is spatial audio, which is supposed to be the whole... I am listening to my thing, and I turn my head so I can hear the cymbal from the drum kit over there, and I can still hear the band right in front of me. And that kind of spatial experience is supposed to be really immersive. And even Apple's got this really amazing technology that will allow you to, while watching your iPad while you're riding the bus, still keep the spatial audio correct. Even though the bus is turning, you can still turn your head the other way. It still works correctly. I don't know why that's what they're doing, but that's the kind of thing they're trying to make work. Seriously, this is a thing. Amazon is trying to do this with regular headphones and an unknown third-party device that probably barely has actual stereo in it.
I think that there is in order to make this work, air quotes for those of you listening, there is a Prime benefit, discounted subscription to capsules that might or might not be a psilocybin something or other.
They do have access to a pharmacy now, don't they? That's a pharmacy.
They do.
What if you listen to Amazon Music on a gramophone?
That wouldn't work because there's that wouldn't work because there's only one speaker.
Yeah.
You would have to listen to it on two gramophones.
Yeah. As long as you sync up both of your gramophones, then you can have spatial audio.
Wait, no. He said gramophone. So like one of those early 2000s Nokia candy bar. Still, that's only one speaker.
I'm interested because I just checked and I do have the Amazon Unlimited service.
Uh-huh.
I've had it for so long I had no idea what which one I had, but I do. So I'll have to look at this and see as it becomes available for me. Because it says it now works with any headphones. So
I would like you to try this out and let me know if it really is spatial audio as everybody else is calling it, not spatial audio as in it's a 3D sound. Does it surrounding you kind of thing? Because they've been doing that for a long time.
I'll have to try it out and let you know what I think.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let's change gears here. Let's say you want to go ahead and you're on the middle of nowhere and you've got a sick beat in your head, kind of a really amazing thing going on, and you really wish you had the ability to stop and record whatever this thing is that's going on. Or maybe you're the kind of guy who packs around a bunch of musical equipment. I don't know, something like one of these or big little keyboards that you stick straight out of your back pocket.
Oh, I carry my 88 key keyboard with the weighted keys around with me everywhere.
Man, the 88 key.
That's why they call you Piano Man.
No. Anyways, I was just playing with that before the show. It's been a lot of fun. So apparently Roland has got a brand new version of their little looping tool. It's a little recorder, it's a little mixer device, software mixing device that lets you on your phone quickly just record either through some simple interfaces to your various devices or just with your speaker, little loops, little tracks of you, what you're doing, and able to take this, and it is able to then expand into many of the more expensive options available by Roland, I'm sure. But this is a free little app that will let you just play with music on the go, whether it be something that you just are just singing into the mic, or something with one of these devices here that lets you hook up to and play with. I just downloaded it. I just installed it. It does have you sign in, make an account with Roland, but there's a free tier that has some limitations, but basically it's completely usable out of the box. And I'm interested to see what I can do.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I could see the usefulness of this as part of your workflow, not as a spur of the moment kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Load the tracks on there that you're going to do when you go out and pretend to be homeless, on the corner, playing money for food, or, if you're playing small gigs at, let's say, you're busking or you're at the coffee shop or whatever, backing tracks and whatnot. This is cool. I'm going to pull it down.
Because
GarageBand for Android.
And
because
iOS.
I didn't say the name of it. The name is it's Roland's program, and it's for OS and Android. It's called Zen Tracker. And I'm going to play with it probably later tonight if I get the chance. Yeah. So absolutely, looks really cool.
Pretty cool.
So I believe last week we talked about Amazon has a new local TV news app. It's available on the Fire TVs. It lets you get your local channels and right on your TVs. And it came out of the box with 100 or so last week, or many more of those cities. Various local stations were available on it. Well, it looks like they announced now another 60 new stations have been added on. They have now most of the various stations, except for the stations that are who are associated with one of the various streaming bigger companies, Sinclair, I think it is. I can't remember. The guys who owns a lot of the stations, at least especially around me.
Sounds about
There's
right.
nothing around here. But this is just like we said last time. It's an option for you to freely get access to your news stations, your local news stations, and on your Amazon TV.
You're in Charleston, Wichita, Tucson, Reno, Raleigh-Durham, and Honolulu.
Mike, have you tried this?
Nope.
Are you gonna try it?
No.
I enjoy being happy. I will not let news back into my life.
Yeah, I don't
sorry.
know. I don't know what the motivation would be for somebody to watch their local news. If you don't hear it from somebody that you interact with on a daily basis, it's probably not important enough for you to know about. And like you said, Clyde, right? Like the news is the quickest path to misery.
Yeah, I don't need someone constantly telling me how horrible life is. Because when you stop listening to them, life's actually kind of cool. There's a lot of cool stuff out there.
The only thing I particularly care about from the news, I get from my weather app on my phone.
The only reason that I religiously watched the news was for the surf report, and I'm sorry, but there's no surf in Minnesota, so I have no use for the news.
If there is a surf to speak of, you've got a problem.
No, he's fine. Everybody else has a problem.
I'm on an island. I'm already surrounded. I'm fine.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Hey, here we go. If you have yet to experience Philo, and maybe if you're finally ready to give it a shot, if you're a new subscriber to Philo at the $25 a month level, which I think is their lowest cost for new subscribers, they will give you a brand new. Actually, is it brand new?
Yeah, it's brand new.
Well, it's new, but it was originally by T-Mobile because remember T-Mobile was doing their T-Vision thing. Yeah, they have their T-Vision hubs. Apparently, they're surplus, and they're just giving them away. If you can sign up for Philo's $25 a month service, it's an Android TV box. It does 4K.
It's the T-Mobile branded Android TV.
And it's yours free if you join Philo as a new user. So,
but if you pay for 2 months.
Oh, it's a 2 month.
So it works out to be if you pay $50 to Philo, you'll get a free $50 T-Vision hub.
They will never get updates ever again, I'm sure. But that's okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure it'll get all of the normal Android updates.
Probably
because it's just Android with the
they'll update the apps probably.
The apps aren't the issue. We're talking OS.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say they'll update the apps as long as that OS is supported.
Mm-hmm. But if it's just using and I'm pretty sure there's someone out there. This thing has been out for a year. There is someone who has found a way to load the vanilla Android TV on it, and then in that case, there's no problem. When we announced this, the one thing that I did comment that I was interested in was the remote. I kind of like that remote. Well, it's a full remote with buttons and numbers, and it's not this little dinky thing with like a couple buttons squished together. Mm-hmm. I think I might actually sign up for this because it's been a while since we've used Philo.
I use it all the time.
Oh, I'm doing the War Royal Wii. So
okay.
It's been a long time since I've used Philo. It's time to revisit it, and this is how I get my hands on equipment. I find
when they basically give it away.
I mean, that's how I got my Stadia controller. That's how I got I got other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you find the really good deals and it's worth the shot. And so you go for it.
Yeah. And you get a thing that you get to keep that'll continue to work because it's not actually tied to a service. Right. I wasn't interested in this device when it was tied to the T-Mobile service. Now that it's just a device, and it's being given away by his service, I would actually be interested in trying. Yeah, why not?
Cool. All right, that's awesome. That's the news, guys.
That's the news. And that brings us to the point where we like to talk about the people that support this show.
What do we want to talk about them? Are they nice looking people or are they ugly people?
What does it matter? They support the show.
That means that they're beautiful. That's what that means.
Everybody's beautiful.
They are beautiful because they support the show.
No, well, actually, the saying that everybody's beautiful on the inside. Have you ever seen the inside of a person?
That's gross.
That is definitely the opposite of beautiful. I would say that everybody's
on the outside.
Everybody's beautiful on the outside. Yeah. Do not look on the inside.
Everybody's beautiful in their own way.
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
But the most beautiful people are the people that give us money.
Wow.
And if you would like to be one of those people, you can head on over to patreon.com/the Squad and give us money.
Yep. We don't even ask for a lot. $1. $1 an episode or whatever we do.
A buck is literally money.
Yep, it is.
And we'll take it.
That's true.
And we promise we'll give you something in return. What that is, the value of what you get in return, that's purely up to you to decide if it's
true.
What
is worth anyways?
Yeah, who knows? But you know, look at it as an investment. And as we've been saying for a long time, we may not be a good investment, but we're better than a bad one.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's head on over to Rants and Raves. All right, rant, rave.
I already ranted, so I'm going to go ahead and just rave very briefly. I got tired of waiting, and I'm just can't. I just don't know why I don't pay for it. I should pay for Funimation. I really should, but I haven't been. So I just went ahead and started watching the 5th season of My Hero Academia, just using just the subtitle version, which quite frankly was great. I've been watching. I don't think I've watched the entire season. We just finished the class 1A versus 1B series of that, and that was great. I really enjoyed that a lot. So I'm sure if I continue to watch it, it'd be great. So that's the only thing other than playing with MIDI pianos and playing with various pieces of software and trying to keep up with my entire work life, which sucks the life out of me sometimes. It's what I've been doing. It's been
Sign up for the Funimation. It's $5 and you only have to do it every once in a while. Because you wait until there's a bunch of them anyway. So sign up, then you get through the ones you want, and it's a month. It's $5. Isn't not having to read worth $5?
Fair enough. It's not that. It's just I have so many subscriptions I already get to, and then
that's why you just turn it on and off. Use privacy.com, and you'd create a one-time use
credit card.
And then you can update it if you want.
Yep.
I get emails. Constantly from privacy.com because there was a legitimate website that was totally legitimate. And I was like, I don't think this is kosher. But it was a legitimate website. And everybody said, no, this is totally legitimate. And I was like, all right, well, I did the thing with the privacy.com.
Right.
Paid the whatever it was like $2 to access a thing. I got the thing, and then every once in a while there's multiple attempts to charge $50 to that privacy.com thing, and I say, told you that thing looks sketchy, and it was sketchy. As actually today there were 2 attempts to charge it. It's like there's somebody out there that's getting hit with these charges. It's like
absolutely
privacy.com.
They're not a sponsor.
They are not a sponsor. It is just something totally worth doing. Because then you go and you delete the card and it's like, The only thing is I can't turn off alerts for deleted cards. If I want alerts, they're either on for everything or off for everything. That's my only complaint.
You can't turn it off for deleted cards? They're deleted. Why do you care anymore?
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it is kind of funny because I get to laugh at these people for trying to
look at a 10-year-old
for proving
card
that they were
2-year-old card
ripping people off. But
Yep.
All right.
So I will say there is a particular political comedy opinion show that I particularly like to watch. Normally airs on YouTube, but it got banned this last week. Fortunately for me, I participate in their own subscription service on their own platform. And so I didn't miss any episodes, but I'll just take this as a reminder for those of you that do enjoy platforms that you can support. Don't forget to support your favorite content providers, whether it be through Patreon or their own services and subscriptions. I do that. And one of the ones that I do, other than that show, is Critical Role. And I am very excited that tomorrow season 3 starts. So I haven't been watching it because it's not been on, but I will be watching it starting tomorrow.
Cool.
So if you like D&D, this is, in my opinion, the best D&D show there is. Okay. And in the opinion of tens of thousands of other people too.
On that note, I've not been watching Critical Role, but I have been listening to Dungeon Daddies. That one has been actually really good for a podcast. They just had the season finale. I caught them a couple episodes ago before this, the finale. And the show is hilarious, and and it's very well made by those guys. And so, absolutely, if you want an audio version of D&D that's just going to make you laugh your ass off, it's Dungeon Daddies is an excellent choice. It's Dungeons and Daddies, I think, actually. So yeah.
I was gonna say Dungeon Daddies sounds like a
something else,
counterculture S&M show.
Not that. Although they'd probably make that joke, absolutely. So it's a dirty, raunchy podcast for
someone
adults,
that would get
right
the
at the
gimp.
beginning.
All right, Jimmy, what you got?
So I've been watching, the Apple TV show Foundation. Enjoying that one. That one is pretty good. Really kind of liking that one. But over the weekend, I finished the current season of Billions.
It's about time.
And I liked it. I think I agree. I think, Clyde, you said last week, not the strongest season, and you kind of didn't like it as well as the other seasons, I think is what you said, right?
I say that I think that I no longer care. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. And I get that. Right. And without giving anything away, there was something significant that happened, right? And it's going to be interesting to see what they do next season, right? But maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't be, right? But we'll see. But I did enjoy it, and it was an interesting ending, how it ended this season, and we'll see what they do. But I think I agree with the point that not the strongest season they've had in that show, but still entertaining, right? I mean, if you're a fan of the show, you'll like it, right? But again, not the strongest season. So yeah, I finished Billions. Maybe I haven't had a chance to try one of the other shows you mentioned. Maybe I'll try one before canceling my subscription. So. And if I do try one of those and like it, I'll report back then.
Oh, the shows that I
American Rust was one of them.
Yeah, just watch the first episode, and I think you'll know if you're in or not right away.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I already basically went there. Privacy.com. Don't get scammed. Protect your money. It's free. Use it. That's it. And on that note, hey, that brings us to the end of the show. So thanks for hanging out with us. We are here every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central. Even when we're not, we're here. If somebody tells you that we're not, don't listen to them. We're definitely here. Especially if it's those people over at Twitch. Because we're definitely here.
Do you want to mention a certain thing that we're doing at the end of the year?
Oh, I mean, the New Year's Eve streamathon is they got
officially on the list. All right.
Yeah. They got the times assigned early this year, so
cool.
Yeah,
and we're on it, so cool.
Yeah, we'll
more
be
details
there.
to come, I'm sure.
Sure. That'll all happen in due time, but. Reminder to everybody that is involved with Movie Party. The October Movie Party will be happening this Saturday, directly following the Big Boys J show around 10 o'clock Central. We will be watching Basket Case and Scream and Scream Again. Jimmy, have you seen Scream and Scream Again? It's a Vincent Price movie with Peter Cushing and... it's like from 1970. It's gonna be.
Fun. I used to watch a lot of his Vincent Price. Yeah. I used to like watching a lot of those shows. So maybe I have seen that one.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. But that's all the usual places. Info is movieparty.net. But otherwise, join us again next week here, 10 p.m. Central. 9 p.m. Central. I don't know. Whenever do we do the show? 9 p.m. Central? I don't know either. Wednesday nights on YouTube. If you don't want to watch us live and you prefer to listen to us, that's fine. You can get that podcast everywhere that podcasts are available for free. You may have to wait for it. I don't remember if I posted last week's crap. But hey, there's the benefit of becoming a patron.
Yeah, you always get the one if we get it
for
on time.
$1 a month. You don't have to wait for the audio version. You will get it like immediately, almost after we're done with this. I am posting audio, so go do that. And that is it. I think let's just get to the post show and we'll select some titles.
Totally.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
Exactly.
I can't believe I made it.
I just looked at the album art of the Dungeons and Daddies podcast, and it does say Dungeons and Daddies. And the star underneath it says not a BDSM podcast.
Okay.
It's like, okay, they've done that, Jeff. Gotcha.
Well, that's why I said the Dungeon Daddies is most likely some sort of
bad thing.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. All I gotta say is fun stuff. It's the best stuff.
So I'm looking it up. What is it? Scream and Scream Again. Which the people that made Scream and Scream 2 should be ashamed that they didn't name the second movie Scream Again. Because those movies were an homage back to the old horror movies. How could they miss an obvious gold mine?
Apparently they're making another Scream movie, and so maybe they can bring it up and take
from
advantage.
The makers of Scream and Scream Again. Not that movie. But yeah. Scream and Scream Again. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, should we announce the titles for the week?
Yeah.
All right. If you are here and you wish to make a vote for your titles, you can go to tvs.showbot.tv and go and see the various titles that are available for you to vote on. It's very simple. You click on the ones you like and ignore the ones that you don't. That puts your votes in for whatever votes you want to have, whatever titles you wish to make it to the top of the list. Thus far, the titles are actually, thanks Google, for reals. giving away the peacock. Seriously?
Mhm.
No, seriously.
Seriously?
Usly. Yeah.
Usly. Seriously.
I couldn't find a way to there is no right way to spell usly. So I wanted to say seriously, but with Siri.
Seriously? Okay. Look but don't touch Siri. This was me totally trying to make some type of reference to look but don't touch at some type of, at a strip club or something. I don't know. And spatial audio on a Gramophone. I think I spelled spatial wrong.
Wouldn't it be listen but don't touch?
Yes, you're right. That would be probably better. Listen but don't touch Siri. Yes, that would be better. I was doing it quickly on the fly.
Yeah, I'm just making constructive.
No, it's good. I totally agree. It's better.
It's not possible because we don't get enough recommendations for there to be a long-term trend upwards of something. But I swear it seems like every week more and more of our titles end up becoming
grammar related.
So innuendos. There are a lot of innuendo titles.
We've been innuendo from from the beginning.
Yes, but usually
we're all in.
It was about 50-50. Now
in which endo?
Every single one of these.
Ooh, that reminds me. I picked something up today that says, "You're gonna stuff what in my what hole?" Yes.
Stuffing in your turkey.
And then it says, "What the pluck?" Happy Thanksgiving. I don't even do cards, but I saw this and I had to get it. So
that's hilarious.
Now I got to figure out what to do with it.
Give it to somebody, obviously.
Give it to your boss.
Well, my boss is now in Chicago. I didn't get. We didn't get a chance to talk about it beforehand.
What?
So
hey, Clyde, you made me look up Vincent Price. And I didn't realize he was in more than 100 films.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was in everything.
Yeah. And I remember there was an old movie that I saw. It was called The Tingler.
Yeah.
Right.
The Tingler. The Tingler is loose in the theater.
Right.
That's the one I was talking about that with someone recently. That's the one where they rigged up the buzzer on the bottom of the theater seats. Mm-hmm. So then when Vincent Price starts yelling at the crowd that the Tingler is loose in the theater, and all the seats start buzzing and everybody freaks out because they think the Tingler is but yeah, this movie has it. So it's Vincent Price and Peter Cushing and also Christopher Lee. So 3 of the horror greats in one movie. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I added Wabbit's last comment. That's so spatial.
Well, that was a title from a couple weeks ago.
Did we use that?
Yeah, I think so.
We might, or it was one of the options. So
if it didn't win, it's there.
Let me
to validate this. Because...
Do you want to search your?
No, I'm going to archive.org.
Oh yeah,
and then look up the VOD Squad, and we can look at the entire library. And then I'll also be able to confirm whether or not I posted last week's audio. Nope, the last one was TVS 255, now for grandmas.
And now we got an option for
248, episode 248. My audio is so spatial.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will say,
I wasn't on that one. So that's why I didn't know that.
Okay. Aside from the 255 now for grandmas, my favorite title is still the Twerk Force.
It's horrible.
The one about TikTok employees or paying people to TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the twerk force. I
That was
remember,
the twerk
and it was
force.
like, oh, it's so bad, but so right. Oh, it's so wrong. And it's so good. It's so bad. It's so good.
Oh wow! You know, I forgot. Vincent Price was in Alice Cooper's Nightmare. The Nightmare.
Yeah, he's in pretty much everything.
Is he? He's passed on, hasn't he?
Oh
He did.
yeah,
He
oh
did.
Yeah, I
yeah,
was about to say. Yeah, he's fun.
Died in 93.
yeah.
Okay.
He was old in the 70s.
Right. I know. It's just I just
Yeah,
like
he was born in 1911.
Yeah, he was
That's-
10 years older than my grandpa then, or 9 years. My grandpa was born in 1920.
He wasn't older than mine. My grandpa was born in 1898.
So, have you seen Critical Role, Matt?
I believe I've seen a couple of the beginnings of episodes. There's a lot of warm up to them actually doing their thing, and I wasn't patient enough to get past that introductions and talking about and getting things ready kind of thing. And so what I need to do is jump into a middle of a season and see if it's fits what I wanted out of it. So
You know,
I mean, their regular episodes jump right into.
well, I know,
maybe.
but I like brought up the first episode of the first season, and it was like there was a good half an hour to an hour of, hi, I'm this actor and I'm going to be playing this
Okay.
character, and here's we're going to roll about these things and figure, and it was just a whole bunch of pre-setup, which is fine, but I was not able to hold my attention on that long enough for me to get past that and get into actual gameplay. So I just I'm gonna do something else. And the Dungeons and Daddies one in particular had me laughing in the middle of the night last night. It was just so good and so hilarious. So I was sitting alone in my living room, laughing to my headphones, trying not to wake anybody else up. Because
I'm curious if Elite Wolf is still watching. If he's ever seen or heard Dungeon Daddies.
Dungeons and Daddies.
Dungeon Daddies is a different
I'm pretty
thing.
sure Dungeon Daddies is a thing, and
But Dungeons and Daddies is not a BDSM podcast.
oh, and the way that you phrase that, Mike, I was expecting you to make a Matt Mercer joke because you said something about Critical Role Matt. Well, Critical Role Matt would be Matt Mercer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just curious if Matt had.
It was just a missed opportunity. That's all.
Yeah, I was just curious because I have seen a couple of other ones. Some of them have been pretty good, and some of them have been okay. But the thing about a Dungeons and Dragons podcast is it's a pretty significant time investment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeons and Daddies is more of a humor podcast than anything. But yeah, it's great. And they take all, I mean, it's clear they edit out all right, roll 4 dice 6, and there's you hear a dice roll and you're there, and it's like, this is what I got. It's just instantaneous stuff going on. So it's clear that, and every once in a while do epic music or a sound effect in the background to put you into the spirit, and it's just nonstop joke after joke after joke, and it's great. So
that might make it a little different. I mean, one of the things I definitely enjoy that time with. I definitely enjoy the times of watching them roll the dice and see the results and everybody responding to it and stuff. But it does make, I mean, each episode of the season is about 4 hours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a weekly time investment of basically a nightly sitcom.
I don't
Not a nightly sitcom, a nightly. What do they call the 1 hour ones? Sitcoms are like 30 minutes. I don't know.
I forget the term they use for it.
Primetime television show.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's an hour. That's what it is.
It's like an hour for every day of the week almost. So it's an investment. It is worth it, but it's an investment in time. So gotta ask. Gotta keep that in mind.
So according to Elite Wolf, the first season 1 of it, it takes it all the way to episode 7 for it to actually start getting really into the meat of it. So I would have 6 episodes of just setup, and I can see why I would not like
about
that.
28 hours.
I know. I'm sure it's not actually that long, but
4 hours.
Oh,
well,
man.
I mean, if you have a sizable commute, that's not a bad thing to have.
No,
because you complain about how the podcasts that I listen to typically come out. They're available on Tuesday, and by Wednesday night, they've all been listened to because, or Thursday morning, they've all been listened to because if I have to commute to work,
you're listening to
that's
an hour each way,
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I would say is I do think that's a great point. I did start Critical Role season 1 about 8 or 9 episodes in. I don't know exactly. And so it seems like maybe that helped me out because I kind of jumped in several episodes into the first season. So it's really good if you start once the characters, they've learned their characters, and they there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. It's pretty fun.
Mike, I totally should have pinged you. One of my buddies from work up here, he was down in Texas. He went to a DM convention it was over by Dallas. And
Cool.
And I forgot to mention it to you to see if it was something that because it's somebody that he follows that does like DM, like guidance, or I don't know. I'm not into the stuff, so I don't really know what the
Matthew
right words
Colville?
are. I think it is. And he did a one-on-one, pay whatever, and then we'll get together.
Yeah.
And they did like a whole thing. And he was down there for a weekend. It was like 2 weeks ago.
That would be pretty cool. Definitely a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, that's the downside. I've been so busy, I haven't been able to do those things. The Critical Role is doing a theater release live showing of their starting episode. And I really wanted to go see that. But all of the theaters around here, I didn't find out about it the day it came out. I found out like 2 days after it came out or got announced. And all of the theaters were all sold out except for like, front row on the side or, just awful seats that nobody wanted. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'll watch it from my house. But I thought that would have been pretty cool. But obviously that tells you how big they are, right? Like they're selling out movie theaters across the country to watch the opening episode.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, and we haven't had any talk about how Microsoft's refusal to let me and Matt upgrade is actually a good thing, because apparently the Windows 11 is actively penalizing AMD CPUs.
Yes, they were for a while. They've got a patch, but for a while it was really making.
Yeah, but as of a couple of days ago, that patch
it's only it's not in the public channel yet. It's in the release preview channel.
Okay,
which means that they're giving it to everybody to test before they release it to the rest of the world. But it supposedly fixes that issue completely. So finally. And the funny thing is they actually did release a different patch, and it made the problem worse. It's like, oh man, it was all about the layer 3 cache on the processor. So it was, and it was basically doing a way of using that cache in a very slow method that apparently my understanding is those guys at Intel were totally invented a better way to use the layer 3 cache that totally didn't screw over AMD. But after they noticed that it did make a difference for the AMD guys, they made a version of the driver that works on AMD.
Yeah, it was like slowing down PCs like 70%, or adding latency.
Yeah,
Of
70%
times.
extra latency latencycy. You could feel up to a 30 or 40% drop in things like games if it really used the level 3 cache heavily. But most people would feel maybe a 5 to 10% reduction in speed in general, and most people just wouldn't even notice that kind of speed drop.
And what update was this?
Windows
11.
Oh, just the regular Windows 11.
If you have an AMD processor, it sucked the life out of your processor until this patch is coming up.
All right. Well, I guess I'm glad I haven't converted. My friend or my coworker at work that was running the beta like several months ago, he's been happy with it all along. I never thought to ask him if he has what OS he's using, but now he's obviously on the full version and is telling people that he's loving it, that it's great. Come on over. But like I said, I'm assuming he has an Intel processor, or maybe he just has a powerful enough a computer that it doesn't really bring it down too much. But yeah, I always hold off on these big upgrades for a couple of months just because I like to let other people deal with those kinds of bugs.
Yeah. So I found the event. It was LairCon 2021. And if you go to the website, there is a link to the YouTube channel, which is the DM Lair.
My people, go vote.
So
Vote on the show titles.
I think most people have at this point. Are you saying you don't want the current title leader? The current leader is look but don't touch Siri,
there's not that many votes.
I suggest that
Very,
we change
very few
it
votes.
a little bit and make it listen but don't
touch Siri. I think I completely approve of that, and since it was my title submission, I think that's valid.
The Bing remind thing didn't seem to work.
It did not. Oh, giving away the peacock just got another. Now it's a tie.
Well, it doesn't matter. We get to choose.
Wait, don't tell them that.
Well, they're both submitted by you, so. Now, if it was a clear winner with like 12 artificial votes that rolled in all of a sudden.
That's never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
But all right, well, I will copy listen but don't touch.
Excellent.
Look but don't touch.
We're gonna change it to listen.
Oh, we're gonna change it to listen
because that's what it should have been.
Yeah, because that's better.
Okay.
We are making
it takes the innuendo down a notch though.
It does. That's okay.
But it also fits the story because you can listen as long as you don't touch.
Yeah, this is fair.
But don't touch Siri. You should.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen. Just don't touch Siri. It will not end well.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that is there, and I think that's it. Should we shut this down so Jimmy can go to bed and I can go back to bed?
Yep.
And I can put people to bed.
Is that where you were at earlier?
What?
Technically, but I was literally right here. I was
asleep.
just more like,
this is not the first time he's done this.
no. That's well. The worst part was I was in the middle of setting everything up when that apparently. You noticed that the titles were cleared, right?
I was just getting to the point of, okay, how do I set the titles? Also, I need the new background without the chat box.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I thought I put that up there, but in the media folder, but that's okay.
I did. If it's in the media folder, you've got ones with the.
I'll double check. I
just need the
had.
plain blue background because I think you have.
Oh, that's in the media.
I didn't see it
because the chat box is part of the overlay. It's not part of the background.
Okay. Well, I'll find it.
Yeah, we can talk about that offline. So,
yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us, and we will catch you all next week unless you join us for movie party this weekend. And trust me, you'll be glad you did.
You'll scream and scream again.
You may scream and scream again. You may be a complete basket case by the time it's done.
What are you watching?
Basket case and scream again.
Oh.
So, all right.
Right.